Hi everybody, it's Kris here from the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the GallowgateShots YouTube channel and podcast, and we are here with your match preview for West Ham versus Newcastle. Everybody who is watching live, you will see that I am joined once again by Mark Walker. Hi Mark.
Hi Kris.
It's very soft open this, wasn't it? I'm normally a bit louder than this. And Thomas is here. Thomas, you're involved with everything at the minute, mate. I forgot how to introduce you there, but Newcastle United supporters, trust, wall flags, anything else?
No, we'll stick with that. We'll stick with that.
All right, okay. Those ones were legally allowed to mention. How are you, mate? It's been a while.
I'm very good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having us on.
No problem. Let's just get straight into it. We're taking people away from the Rangers Dortmund game at the moment.
It's 27-1 now.
But yeah, Mark, I'm going to come straight to you. Starting lineup for this game. In fact, we'll talk about the weather first.
Yeah, mate, that's an interesting podcast for people that are listening in, isn't it?
We'll start with the weather. Disruptions over the next 24 hours.
It's been a bit blustery for the last bloody 3 or 4 weeks, hasn't it?
Like more.
Is the wind ever going to stop blowing?
I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. But like I said, over the next 24, 48 hours, disruptions all over the shop. A lot of the trains have already been cancelled for people that may be travelling down a day early for the game on Saturday, because early kickoff, 12:30 kickoff.
And that normally brings loads of fun with the trains anyway, doesn't it? A nice early lunchtime kickoff in the capital.
It normally gives you around about half an hour to get off the train, then to one of the London grounds.
I've got a little bit more time than that.
When you going tonight?
No, 6 o'clock Saturday morning. I'm meant to be travelling.
All right, okay.
So that's meant to get you in at 10 to 10, I think it is.
You got plenty of time.
Well, as things stand, let's not get carried away.
I've fueled up the car just in case.
But yeah, Mark, can you see there's been a problem to the game?
Well, we didn't think it would be a problem against Arsenal, did we? And we know how that turned up. So I think that the fact that it's meant to have cleared by kind of tomorrow night should make things all right for people travelling down on Saturday morning. You just hope there's no major disruptions happening so that everybody gets down there safe and sound.
Yeah. With it being an early kickoff, any advantages for us?
Well, the fans will be more drunk, won't they? All them train cans, so they might be in a bit more raucous. Some slight advantage, maybe.
just the fans being
clutch at any straws.
Just the fans being pissed. Right, Thomas, starting lineup. We discussed this before we went on there, but we've got like some targets allowed to play this one. Obviously, last week he couldn't because of Villa being the parent club. Does he come straight back in for you?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
he was brilliant against Everton. He has to. I think that's the only saving grace to Trippier being injured, isn't it? Is that at least we get one of the decent fullbacks back in the team.
You mean you don't want Dummett to stay there, they keep his position?
You know what it is? I love Paul Dummett, but I think Target needs to play.
just so he can get that little bit further forward.
He had an absolutely fantastic debut. Of course he did. Yeah. It's one to remember. And just like many of us we've seen come through in this transfer window in January, Trippier, obviously his debut was against Cambridge. It was
in the cup, wasn't it?
To be fair, but
that went well.
Yeah, but Premier League performances by the new lads have been pretty decent overall. Still yet to see Bruno's debut. So that's the next question, Mark.
Ticking up the minutes, isn't he?
We discussed this on Monday night on the Always Smiling Faces podcast. Are you still thinking that Bruno comes straight back in?
I'm still team Bruno. I think I always will be, to be fair, but I'm maybe not as I would have liked to have seen him against Villa, but then that turned out all right, just because I thought we'd have much more of a battle needed in the midfield. But to be fair, Willock did very well, kind of, on the front foot and closing down and stuff like that. So, whereas I thought with Bruno being in there, it might give us a bit more strength in the midfield, but Willock did well for it. So, up against Declan Rice again, in there, and the players that they, depending on who plays alongside of him, there could be a midfield battle in there. again, so Bruno may be more suited to that. But I think Willock's been playing well, hasn't he? You cannot really drop him unless it is just for purely tactical reasons, which is the only way that I would have said to take him out of the team anyway.
Yeah, Thomas Bullock's been one of these ones who, over the last couple of weeks, he's been improving as the game's gone on. Hasn't always started well when the whistles first blew, but he grows into the game a hell of a lot. By the second half, he's active and he looks like he's grafting his backside off. Do you think if he is taking out that starting 11, that's another kick to his confidence?
Yeah. It really is. It really is, because the lad has taken quite a lot of stick, obviously, from when he signed in the summer, because he was brilliant last season. I think you're bang on by saying that it would do his confidence. I've been thinking about this, obviously, with Bruno, and I would love to see Bruno start. I really would, but I genuinely don't know who you take out of that team to put him in, because I don't think anyone in that midfield deserves dropping. So he's got it's a nice decision, as they all say, isn't it? Yeah. But it's like, I think it would be harsh on anyone that gets dropped.
That's what we were saying the other night, isn't it? It's a nice position to be in. The fact that you've now got a bit of competition for spaces, and whoever you bring in is adding quality to the midfield. Whereas when we looked at what we could bring in the past, the likes of your Hendricks, Longstaff having a great time, but he was coming in, and Isaac Hayden and stuff. So it's definitely an upgrade, and it's just, really generating that competition for places and increasing everybody's performances.
It feels inevitable that Bruno's going to start at some point, though, and you have to question when. I actually do think West Ham's the perfect game to start him. I think I feel like this game, because of the last two results, is a little bit of a free hit. Like, I'd love to get something out of the game, obviously, but they're doing really, really well, and I think this game would be perfect to put him in. But I don't envy Howe in picking how he puts him in.
Who would have thought we would have been in a position where you could probably argue that Trippier was the more key signing as such in that January transfer.
He's the more famous name, isn't he? That's I think
he is. But we've brought a current Brazilian international player who cannot get in that starting lineup because of a £40 million striker.
It's ridiculous when you say it out loud, isn't it?
Like, how are we having this debate now? Like, where we were just a month ago. Like, how are we having this conversation? Oh, nah, it's probably not the right time to start a 30-odd million pound Brazilian midfielder.
Bruno's probably came here thinking, I'm going straight in this team. He's probably thought that. And you can tell when he's been warming up, he's getting a bit frustrated. He's keep looking at the clock on the big screen thinking, what time is this? Am I going to get on?
Do you think he would have came on earlier on Sunday, though? But injuries and what happened?
It didn't help.
Aye.
It didn't help. Of course it didn't. What time did he actually come on? Late on?
It was the 90th minute. Yeah, was it 91 or something like that?
And the match, we mentioned this on Saturday. On Monday, Mark, the game at the weekend. It was very stop and start.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, of course, we'll have the injuries to Trippier, and Mankiel went off as well, didn't
he?
Yeah. So, like Thomas said, it's always going to be hard to change the likes of your tactics and formation, because you just have to make like for like subs straight away.
Yeah,
those sort of things happen.
The way Villa were going, like as we said, they were just kind of constant fouls all the time, wasn't there? So it was, the referee was blowing his whistle constantly, not letting the game flow. So there wasn't any real flow to the second half. So it was difficult to get a foothold in it. And I think with the bookings in midfield, that could have encouraged them to make the change a little bit.
This is what a lot of people thought. They thought, is this the fact that a lot of players are on 4 yellow cards, and Joelinton got booked, and Shelby got booked? People are thinking, all right, both of those are going to get suspended, and Bruno's going to go in straight in. But that got wiped out in January. Yeah. So once again, yes, if there had been a suspension, then Bruno's straight in that team. But because of the time he's being signed, and the yellow cards get taken right back down to 0 for your build-up of automatic suspension. He's struggling. There's a comment there by Simon, and I disagree with you, actually. Simon says that Bruno comes straight in for Shelby because Shelby's a liability. I think we saw huge improvements from Shelby recently. Yes, he's still got that little bit of a fire.
We held each other's hands on Saturday, didn't we? When he went flying in it towards the Leazers on the Milburn touchline. It was like, oh.
It was like that Neville Thierry Henry, not Neville Carragher and Henry moment in Sky Sports, and I just went like that when Shelby's running over. It's to Shelby, I think it's a bit harsh. I think he's been great.
You know what it is? When we're saying Bruno, I actually thought him and Shelby would be great to get together, because I think if you take a little bit of pressure off Shelvey, so he's not the main focus in that midfield, then I think Shelvey would be a hell of a lot better. We all know Shelvey's probably going to move on after the season anyway.
Of course.
I just think for now, for the battle that we're in, I think Shelvey has to play. I think he's the most experienced in that midfield, so I think you've got to play him.
And like you said, the pressure on Shelvey. I think a lot of fans were expecting Shelvey to move the ball forward as well as defend at the same time.
Yeah.
And like we've said, more
not so much defend, but at least move and try and do something
rather than doing
from that side of thing.
But we saw huge improvement by every single player on that field. And Shelvey and Joe Lynn, how many times have we sat here and debated who gets man of the match performance from those two players? I
mean, it comes as no surprise to anybody that I wasn't a huge Shelvey fan after anybody that's listened for any length of time, but I've got to eat my words with him this season. But I think it's true what you just said there, Thomas, is having the other people in midfield around him, like the likes of Joe Linton, is just smashing everybody left, right, and centre. He's doing all the running. He's got the legs. Willick in there alongside him. It's just allowing Shelvey just not needing to do any of that running around or having to do any tackling, because it's happening in front of him and much further up the pitch. So we're not inviting the pressure on like we used to when we used to sit with the likes of either Hayden and Shelvey or Longstaff and Shelvey sitting deeper and inviting the pressure onto it. The pressure that we're inviting is a good 10, 20 yards further up the pitch, which gives Shelvey much more time. And that's coincided with having much better performances and, getting these just rewards for it. So
is it going to come to a point now? Let's say if we go to West Ham with the same three in midfield, okay, is it going to get to a point where no matter what, Howe is going to have to change it at some point to bring Bruno in? Because he's probably been promised game time.
I think a defeat. If we lose at West Ham, he's immediately in, because it gives him like the perfect excuse. But if we keep picking up results, which I hope we really, obviously, if he's not going to change the team because we're picking up results, then fantastic.
Yeah, of course.
But I get that he is going to have to come in at some point. Like he has to. I think the crowd almost demands it. I think going
even him warming up, going up and down the touchline, he's getting chances, isn't he?
This is it as well with Trippier being out. That's a major miss. Like I think we all, it was like a punch to the gut when we found out Trippier was out, and it's like the other thing we've got to keep us going is if Bruno's playing, and so there is that element as well.
Yeah, well that's next question. Callum Lewis has sent in. He wouldn't change the team. It's just a question of who plays at right back. It's going to be Kraft, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Has to be, doesn't it? If Mankio's going to be out for a couple of weeks, like the news suggested today, he's your only option, really, isn't he?
Either him or Murphy.
Or you go Murphy with the wing back position.
But if it's a wing back position, you're changing it to 5 at the back.
Which then again, it might allow changes in the middle of the park.
And if you change it to 5 at the back, that brings you to the whole scenario. Does the Lascelles come back into the team, or does Dan Burn keep his spot?
Well, going to 5 at the back means
all three can start.
All three in, can't he?
Lascelles.
Brings Lascelles back in. It doesn't have an issue.
But then, who's losing that position going forward?
It would
be Lascelles, surely.
You'd hope.
It would be Lascelles.
Well, I don't know. Hope is maybe the wrong word, but
if you're paying 5 at the back, right? Okay, so let's say if he shoehorns 5 in, so you would have Murphy at right back, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Then you would have Lascelles, Burn, Fabian as your centres, and Target as your left.
That left-hand side is lovely.
Yeah, but does that mean one of your attacking players is
Fraser.
dropping out the team?
Fraser.
And you can't drop him right now. 100%. You can't do it.
It would be, though.
It would be. It's the
easy way out, isn't it? It's the easy way. You can't drop anyone else in that team.
But once again, for me, if you're going to drop one of those players, just to...
I know.
You've got a right back there in Kraft, who you're going to have to put some faith in him and see what happens.
This might be really controversial, but I don't mind Kraft. I don't think he's the worst.
I think he's been a bit of a scapegoat. To be honest.
I don't think he's the worst. I actually thought he came on. It was almost as if on Sunday he was told, right, go on and just be an absolute twat for the rest of the game and just do a job.
Yeah,
and that's what he's going to be doing for the rest of the season, and because he is going to have to play until Manquillo's fit again.
Yeah. That shout there from Scott has said, "Can we place Fraser at right wing back?" Possibility,
you could.
You're then playing players out of position. I know you probably argue about Murphy as well, but for me, you stay with the back 4.
He did a job a couple of games at left back, didn't he?
Did he?
Because
Fraser.
He played.
Did he?
Well, maybe not the full game, but he certainly went over there. and took over from Richie, if I remember right, when he was coming back in.
The thing is, for me, you're staying with 4 at the back, and the decision that you have and Eddie Howe has now is, does your captain Lascelles come straight back into that team? Or because of Dan Burn having a great debut, man of the match performance, does he stay in there? For me, Dan Burn stays in there.
Yeah.
If it's on performance and merit, you've got to stick with the 2 that was there. But I mean, Cher obviously picked up a bit of a knock at the weekend. He was down a couple of times. If it is just a gash to his eyebrow, he'll not need to wear his bandage around his head, which wasn't doing anything for his eyebrow anyway.
He gave an interview today, didn't he? Shaw.
Did he?
Shaw.
Sorry.
Which one we're going with?
Fabian.
I think.
I'd say Shaw. That's the way it's spelled. But yeah, he gave an interview today, so just talking about the game and stuff. So you would assume he's raring to go, isn't he? So
you wouldn't change them back the 2 centre backs for me. Like,
I think Dan Burn being in there, I think again it gives that lift and that freshness to the team that we're absolutely desperate for.
And the thing is, because it's 3 wins on the bounce, 5 undefeated, you don't want to be changing the formation too much. So you're not playing 5 at the back. I'll be disappointed if it's 5 at the back. I'm sticking with the same formation and just like for like swaps.
Yeah. It's only if you're wanting to make yourself more compact and more difficult to beat that you might consider to do that. But again, it then still gives you something going forward. That if you have a 3 and then almost have a 5 in midfield. So. But it comes back to it. We've got options.
Yeah, that's it.
We've got a bit of choice, and we're not. Yes, we're being forced into a change, but it's not something that you're looking at and thinking, "Oh God, we're having to do this for to fit people in and cover." They're going to go in and do a decent job.
Yeah. The
people that are there, but it would be unfortunate. For Fraser to miss out because he has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Over the last half a dozen games. But you would think he would be the logical one, but. Who knows? I'd be happy to keep 4 at the back end. I think Kraft, as you've said, he's been decent since he's the Man United game. I thought he was excellent when he came in, but it's
you can argue against Villa when he came in. He was the one that messed up to give them the chance to score the goal, which was ruled off. We haven't given him enough time since the new lads have came in and since the new ownership has came in, because that's when we saw players pull the finger out and perform that little bit better. So you've got to give him a chance as well when he gets called upon. Let's see how he does, because I honestly think it will be him that'll start. Let's see how he does, then we'll judge him on the back of that performance.
Howell have been drilling him all week.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing I'd like to see is I hope Trippier has just been around as well, though. Like, because it feels as though his character just being in there has been one of the biggest things.
Came out and said, I think it might be on his Instagram post saying that he's going to be sticking around the lads and that.
I hope he's literally sat on the bench for them on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like just there,
he's full track.
Just have him there with his boot on. It's like, but you're right. We're crafted. We're winning games. Like it's really hard to sit here and start slagging off players when you're winning games.
Time to
you know
come
what I mean?
Into the team.
Yeah,
when confidence
is up. You've got to look at the league table, and there has to be confidence there. Like to say, right, we can we've been given us almost like a lucky escape, because the way the start of the season's gone, we should not be in this position with a chance, and we are. So they need to grasp it and they need to take it, and hopefully
that the fact that we're playing at the early kickoff on the is a little bit of an advantage to us.
Thinking, early kickoff.
If we get the 3 points here,
it's that coupon buster in there.
Exactly, mate. So if we get the 3 points, other teams are looking thinking, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's Newcastle.
I think even a point is a massive result, because recently Norwich and Watford have gone there and lost.
Yeah,
so if we get something out of that game, it's massive.
If you don't lose, it's huge, isn't it? Just to keep those points ticking over, keep that undefeated total ticking over. And hey, we've got a decent record down there. We've won 3 out of the 4 games that we've played there. So
it's very similar to Villa. Villa came up here full of confidence. Not a very good record at St. James's Park. And now the opposite's happening where we're going down to West Ham. Another decent record there. So we'll get to the predictions.
Saint normally has a worldie against West Ham, doesn't he? So
let's get with predictions. I don't want to be overconfident, because I know what this club does to us. I've been here so many times where we get a handful of results, something. Oh, we're beating everybody. I'm taking a draw, like the rest of you said. I'd probably take a draw,
I'd snatch
if you offer me that now,
I'd snatch your hand off for a draw.
Are we being very specific? about that
we're
draw.
going to go around full results. So you don't have to name goal scorers. It might not be a goal scorer.
Well, to be honest, that's what I was going to say.
Well, ball draw.
Yeah.
Ball draw.
I'll take that right now.
I think there'll be goals,
I'll be smashed on the
well,
way
the West
home
Ham fans are giving Antonio a hard time at the minute. So
you never know. Emil Kraft wonder class. Just
we'll
pull out a draw.
He's been desperate for Antonio to sign. Might get his wish.
It always gives us a wry smile when I see something from a West Ham fan slagging him off, because there's been a lot of it over the last couple of weeks.
Right.
Like saying that he's just, to be fair, he sounds very much like a Newcastle centre forward. He's doing a lot of hard work, but he's not scoring goals. So
too focused on his podcast.
Maybe that's what it is.
that's what Wilson's done. I'm injured. I'm just gonna have a bit chill on this podcast.
I'm gonna spill all the dirt.
Mark, prediction. I know we're saying we'll take a draw, but what do you think will happen?
I don't want to say it, but I can't see us getting. It's one of those heart and head ones. I honestly think we'll probably get beat. That's what my head says. Just
because West Ham's recent results haven't been impressive.
They've been a bit mixed, haven't they? But at home against us, the way that we'll play them, it does leave opportunities for them. Bowen could, whether targets getting forward too much, and that leaves room for Bowen and stuff like that. Declan Rice is bloody brilliant, as much as I hate to say it.
Is he brilliant up against Joelin or no?
Well, that's the other thing. So I don't know. That's why I'd take a 1-1 every day of the week, but it could be a scrappy 1-0 loss.
Thomas?
Yeah, I think if we lose the game, I think it'll just be 1-0. But I'm gonna go 0-0.
Okay.
I'll take that.
I'll be the confident one then. And I'm gonna go for another game similar to the Villa one, where it's pretty scrappy. And we'll get a 1-0 win.
Hope you're right.
I'm full of confidence, and I know Trippier not being there.
That's why it normally comes back and bites you.
It's a huge blow, Trippier's not being there.
Who's scoring the free kick this time?
Shelby again.
Shelby. He has scored a free kick at West Ham.
Yeah, he did.
So how yeah? So was Henri Sevier.
He was great. He was fantastic.
I just because, like I said, Trippier not being there, huge blow. Of course it is, but that might give the other lads on the field that bit of a boost as well. To thinking, right, let's go and show them that we can do it without Trippier there.
I'm worried it might have the opposite effect.
Yeah, it is Newcastle, isn't it?
Of course, but everybody seems full of confidence. They do. The players, they just, it seems like they're oozing confidence at the minute, and you can clearly see it with the way that they're playing. And they can control a game, something which we haven't said for a long time. We have controlled games in the last handful of fixtures. So if we continue to do that and dictate how the game pans out, then I'm confident that we'll get 3 points.
If Chris Wood can bully the central defenders and Joe Linton can bully in midfield, then it gives Wood a chance. And then, whether that then makes some space for Saint to have that good game that he tends to have against West Ham and pull something out of the draw, and let's shithouse a 1-0 win again. I'd love it.
Mint.
You take it. You take it all day long. We're sat here saying taking a draw, and do you know what it is that I'm not going to say in case somebody clips it. I think we'll win.
I hope you're right.
Yeah. Anything to add before we wrap this one up?
No, I think we've covered everything. Good luck to everybody traveling down with the weather.
Yeah. That's the worrying thing at the minute. People getting there and fans getting there in time. Like we said, Thomas is setting off 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, so he'll be all right.
Saturday morning. Saturday. Oh, I'm just going to walk after this.
I'm leaving now.
I think it's the safest way to get there, isn't it?
Just do Mary Poppins. Take it out.
Yeah.
People who are subscribe to the GallowgateShots YouTube channel, you'll see that there will be another video probably going out later tonight, which sees Matty, host Beyond the Lines. He is interviewing a West Ham fan as we speak right now. So always good to get an insight and a bit of knowledge from a West Ham fan point of view. Let's see if he's as confident as what I am.
So he's taking
a draw.
It normally gives me more confidence after I watch that, because the away fans normally talk down their chances and think that we're going to do it. So it normally fills me with a bit of confidence. So maybe that's just, I need to watch that and see what he's got to say first.
West Ham fans are 100% taking a draw against informed Newcastle United.
I don't think so.
Do you not reckon?
Nah.
I think they'll expect.
If we're in their position, you just have to look at the table and say, regardless of what the recent results have been, they should be beating us. That's how they'll say it. They'll say that they should be beating us.
They're having an excellent season, in fairness to them.
Yeah.
Yes, they fell away a little bit, but they're still thereabouts.
Well, thanks everybody. It's been a pleasure as always. Me and Mark will be back on Monday night, most likely, for the Always Smiling Faces podcast. Like I said, Matty's got his video going out later. Is anything else coming up?
Extra time
tomorrow night. We'll be live. I'm not sure if they're doing it from the studio, if they're recording from home, but that'll be live tomorrow at 8 o'clock, most likely. And that's it. Thank you very much. And we shall see you next time.